Glad you guys could make it. Here for the potluck? Come on in, come on in. Yeah, my name is Shoshana Zambrisky-Stachel, and we are at Art Vale Gallery, which is located here in the Diamond District of Oakland, California. I don't get enough of a chance to be in the darkroom these days. You know, what with running the business by myself, it's a bit of a strain getting out there and actually making new work. But yes, I do consider photography to be my primary medium. Well, so we're right next to the Fruitvale district and right off of the Fruitvale-MacArthur intersection. And Fruitvale has a great history. Like there's some really good history in this East Oakland area with old beer gardens, and literally it used to be a fruit vale, like a valley full of fruit trees, which is just a really beautiful image. So yeah, the kind of concept behind the name Art Vale is a valley that is art.
I'm Fabiana Rodriguez, and I'm an artist, and we're in my studio in West Oakland. So in my artistic process, I like to experiment a lot, and I don't like to be attached to one I don't like to be attached to one visual language, and so I'm constantly just trying to explore different languages. And in 2014, when I went to go see a show by Henry Matisse, and I saw his cutout show, I was really inspired to do my own cutouts and have my body of shapes that I could reuse and kind of compose in different ways. And so the collage series that I was working on currently is really just trying to these collages are just experiments that I'm doing to just evolve my practice. I usually just like to experiment so I can just learn more about my materials and about colors and shapes. Oh, cool. Yeah, it's good to just play, not to have, because that's how you get to really learn your forms and just not have like the expectation of having something completed. Because then you don't, if you're under the pressure of having something completed, you don't really get to learn as much. They're all remains of different kinds of processes. So it's great to be able to take different remnants of different projects and then just play with them to see how they can just take on a different life or a different meaning. That's where I grew up. But Oakland has been just a tremendous influence because I also grew up in an immigrant neighborhood in Oakland, and I was surrounded with murals, I was surrounded with graffiti growing up. Just growing up overall in the Bay Area has meant that I've always had access to very political culture, whether it's the free speech movement, or the Black Panther Party, or Chicano Power, or even the sexual liberation movements that were born out of the Bay Area. Those have all informed my practice. Was a child, and it also has to do with the culture I grew up in. I grew up in an immigrant family, and my parents were left Peru in the 60s, and a lot of what they brought with them were really things from they were belief systems from a colonial era. So for me, growing up female meant that I just always had to understand the world from two perspectives. It also meant that I had to be operating ahead of everyone else, because I had to always be ready for the biases and for the sexism and for all the extra. Preferred medium is definitely printmaking, and I would say it's printmaking because of the ability for there to be a multiple and the ability for one artwork to exist in many forms at many different times in many different places. That's why I like prints. Mostly through being self-taught and finding mentors who taught me how to cut wood, how to carve a lino, and I was just curious about learning different things, and so I would try to take as many different workshops or go observe other artists and just try to, take in as much as I could.
Cool.
Butterfly throughout the years has been used as a symbol of migration, and what I did differently was that I attached some words to it, which is migration is beautiful, and I also attached some faces. There are two faces in the butterfly which represent how immigrants are in search of each other, or often immigrants travel to other places because of their loved ones, because they love their partners or their children, or they love themselves. So I wanted to really show the human connection, and I wanted to show the parallels between the migration of the butterflies and the migration of people. And so for the world of the future, I want to create a language where, a visual language where people can immediately know if they're in a safe place, or if, through symbols we can communicate our values as well. And that's something I'm really interested in as an artist. I believe that art and culture are a key component of social change. And I believe they're a key component in where not only are they, art and culture are indispensable to social change, and art and culture precede political change. And art and culture move so much faster than politics do. So in order to have any kind of lasting social change, you first need to have cultural change. And the people who are best equipped with Oakland is that there's been a very kind of supportive community here. I've always felt that I've learned a lot from mentors. I feel like mentors have been very abundant for me here. I also felt that California as a whole has a very strong leaning towards making sure that communities of color have the arts. And that's how I even got that's how I got engaged in the arts in the first place, was because my community had free artistic workshops.
Wow, that's so cool. Wow, that blue looks really good.
And then I like how it blends with the green.
Yeah, you're getting a lot of nice colors.
At the same time, I think that California is a place where culture is made. We have Hollywood, we have the tech industry. Like, there is so much happening here that is shaping culture all around us, and I think that makes Bay Area artists very unique, because we have, we've been influenced by all of those things. I would like to see in all of the art world is a more deliberate attempt to really have inclusion, and not just inclusion in terms of representation, but inclusion in terms of power and access. So I think we're far from that, but that's the work that I strive to do as an artist, is to bring up those issues and to organize people around them.
My name is Natalia Mount, and I am the Executive Director of ProArts. ProArts, it's one of the premier culture institutions and art spaces in Oakland, founded in 1974. And we are here in the gallery in our main space. This space we've been at since, for now, more than 11 years, so 13 to be exact. And of Oakland, I live in Oakland, I work in Oakland, so I'm a huge, I suppose, groupie for Oakland. So I find it very energetic, very growing town, very, the activism, the political milieu that is here is very unique, and the art is very real and authentic, so I love being in Oakland and working in Oakland. Also, originally from Bulgaria, I'm not Native American, so I'm an immigrant in this country. Pair that with being a woman, I've had throughout my career many hurdles that I had to overcome. In addition to that, my background is not specifically in the arts. my bachelor degree actually was in criminal justice and psychology, so I had, and then I did go and study art afterwards. I finished arts market and arts administration, and I have an MBA in media management. But again, because of my career path, my educational path hasn't been exactly, I suppose, boxed within, you know, the idea that arts administrators and curators or directors must have a curatorial degree or must have an art history degree. Again, I have found that that particular experience is difficult to often, you know, that's another hurdle that I had to go through, that my education and my career path had not been exactly perfectly groomed to be in that position. So yeah, it has been tough in general, there's a great emphasis on the egalitarian part of the arts, and I feel that there's less accent on the markets economy of the arts. So I feel that within that, I can say that for sure, everything that I do is about providing access, providing this notion that art is for everyone and everybody can enjoy, engage with art, and participate in art. And in terms of curating, I suppose I've always been someone who is very much engaged with justice, or I'm advocate for justice in any shape or form. So my criminal justice degree actually brought me brought my curatorial research and tendency to a level that I still use today, which is justice. Yes, I wanted to be an FBI agent, so it's very strange that I got into the arts after all of that, but I was very, very lucky. I learned a lot of things, such as you don't have to have a art history degree or curatorial degree in order to be interested in what you do, to be good at what you do, to curate, or to be respectful and to support artists and art. Future of pro art, and I see the future of the art, a lot of arts institutions as very important, especially in our socio-political and socio-economic climate today. I think that as directors of such institutions and curators, we have a great responsibility to always, first and foremost, support the artists and the art that is happening either on local, micro level, or larger, global level. But at the same time, I think that it's very important for us to always question what we do and to question the institutional status or the institutional parameters of how we do things. So I think in the future we will continue, or I will continue at least, think of ways of connecting artists and audiences in thoughtful, respectful, and I suppose new ways, because a lot of the times I think our system is broken, and in terms of the art, because it's fueled by the capitalist, economies and economy and the market forces, and we have to push against that, and we have to remain open to new ideas, to emerging voices, to diverse voices, to those that are not usually represented within the art world. So to that extent, I think it's overly serious about what is happening, in the art world. And I think it's important to have this attitude that we're not doing surgery. It has to be an atmosphere and a space that people like to come in and engage and have, and feel comfortable and engaged and have fun. So, yeah.